Operating System User Account by Noel Destajo. Operating System User Account. To access the operating system or any service running on the operating system, a user needs a user account. A user account allows the operating system or the service to track and monitor the usage. System account, super user account, regular user account, and guest user account. When we install an operating system, it automatically creates some essential user accounts which allow us to access it just after the installation. During the installation, typically it creates four types of user accounts. System accounts. These accounts are used by different services running on the operating system to access the system resources. The operating system uses these accounts to check whether a particular service that is requesting system sources is allowed to access those resources or not. Usually, services create necessary accounts on their own when they are installed. Super user account. This user account has the highest privilege in the operating system. In Windows, this user account is known as the administrator account. In Linux, it is known as the root account. The operating system allows this user account to perform all privileged tasks such as changing system files, installing new software, removing existing software, starting device services, stopping services, creating new user accounts, and deleting existing user accounts. Regular user account. This user account has moderate privilege. This user account is not allowed to make any changes in system files and properties. The operating system allows this user account to perform only the tasks that is authorized to do, such as creating files and folders, running applications, customizing environmental variables, and etc. Guest user account. This user account has the lowest privilege. It can change system files or properties. Usually, this account is used to access the system for temporary tasks such as surfing internet, watching movies, playing games, etc. In Windows, this account is automatically created during installation. In Linux, if required, we have to create this account manually after the installation. User account versus group account. A user account is an individual identity of a user, whereas a group account is collective identity of all users who belong to a specific group. Grouping helps system administrator in managing the system effectively. Once a group is created, the administrator can create and configure several security rules and applications to ensure that only the users from the developers group can access the development department's resources such as SQL service, language API, source code compiler, etc. Local user account versus network user account. Username and passwords for local user accounts are stored on the local machine. Local user accounts are bound with a physical machine. Usernames and passwords of a network user accounts are stored in a central machine, usually known as the server. Unlike local other accounts, network user accounts are not bound with any particular system. Remote service accounts. Usernames and passwords of these accounts are stored in a remote machine. These accounts are used to remotely access the specific service or an application running on the remote system. FTP accounts, email accounts, website accounts are some examples of remote service accounts. Anonymous user accounts. This account does not require a password to log in. This account has the lowest privilege among all available accounts. Usually, this account is used to share data publicly through a service that normally requires login access.